the sister from Philippines. Sometimes I give priority to answer the calls of those who are calling from far away, or they are seeing us via live streaming because of the possibility that they might not get the answer in the next episode or so. So pardon me for that. As far as the mahr, that is something which is mandatory. It's a wajib thing. It has been mentioned in the Quran. آتوهن صدقاتهن نحلة. And in the Sunnah, the Prophet ﷺ said, التمس ولو خاتما من حديد. Find anything, even if it is just a silver ring. And when the Prophet ﷺ was giving somebody, giving him a woman in marriage, he said, what do you have? He said, I don't have anything except my izar, just the izar, the lower garment. If he were to take it off, he will be in the nude. He said, no, keep it on. What do you memorize of the Quran? He says, Surah At-Teen, Wat-Teen wa Zaytoon, and such surah, and such surah. He says, زوجتكها بما معك من القرآن. I give her to you in marriage with the dowry of whatever you have memorized of the Quran, so that you can teach her what you memorized of the Quran as a dowry. So al-mahr is a must. And the greatest dowry in history was the dowry of Sulaym. May Allah have mercy on her, where she insisted on Abu Talha, who was very interested to marry her. She said that if you'd like to marry me, my mahr is to become a Muslim. And this is when he thought about it, and he came and he accepted Islam. So the mahr of Sulaym, who was the mother of Anas ibn Malik, was al-Islam. Al-mahr doesn't have a maximum nor minimum amount, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, وَآتَيْتُمْ إِحْدَاهُنَّ قِنْطَارًا فَلَا تَأْخُذُوا مِنْهُنَّ شَيْئًا أَتَأْخُذُونَهُ بُهْتَانًا وَإِثْمًا عَظِيمًا فَلَا تَأْخُذُوا مِنْهُ شَيْئًا. Don't you take anything out of the dowry which you paid to your spouses in case you decided to divorce them, because that will be a great sin. So that's why in the Sunnah we do not specify a certain amount of dowry. Yet there is what's known as the customs or the urf. People in this locality, the girls marry with a certain amount of dowry. And by the way, I forgot to say, who should pay the dowry? It's understood from the Quran, from the ayat, and from the hadith. But why do I have to emphasize this fact? Because I know in some parts, such as in India, it is the other way around. It is the girl's family who pay the dowry to the groom, and this is haram. It is basically the requirement of the husband to pay to the bride, not to her family, because it will be the position of the wife, not her father, not her husband, not anybody else. Rather, it will be her position. فَمَا اسْتَمْتَعْتُمْ بِهِ مِنْهُنَّ فَآتُوهُنَّ أُجُورَهُنَّ فَرِيضَةً. That's another ayah that talks about the mandate of paying the dowry, and it is mandated on